Hello, boys and girls. It is Miss Oates back with another reading review video. And today we're going to be talking about how characters act. We're going to be focusing on 2 standards. Yes, 2 this time, because they kind of go together. By the end of this video, you're going to be able to use details from a story to describe a character. And then by the end of this video, you're also going to be able to describe how characters respond to major events or challenges in a story. And our focus standards for this video are RL.2.3, describe how characters in a story respond to major events and challenges, and then RL.2.6, acknowledge differences in point of view of characters, including by speaking in different voices for each character when reading the dialogue aloud. So let's go ahead and get started. So first up, what exactly are characters? Characters are the people, animal, or things in a story. They are the stars of the show. And I have a story right here called Little Red Riding Hood. And as you can see, there are 2 characters. We have a little scooter and we have a monster truck looking thing right here. My finger is way off. But you can see the 2 different characters. These are actually things. Think about it. Does your scooter or a monster truck talk and act out act like people do? No. So characters can be things. So we have the 3 little pigs and the big bad wolf. We also have Little Red Riding Hood, who's a person. And then think about Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty is an egg. Whenever your mom cracks open an egg, does the egg squawk or talk and say something? No, an egg's a thing, but it can also be a character in a story. But of course, our characters have character traits. So I want you to think about a person. Think about yourself. We're going to kind of split you in half. So you have your outside and then you have your inside. Let's go ahead and focus in on the outside traits. So when we talk about characters, we're talking about the outside, which is the physical traits. It is what we see. So looking at this little girl on the screen, I can look and describe what she's wearing and what she looks like. I can tell that she's got blonde hair, she's short, she's got a blue skirt, she's got a polka dotted shirt on, and she's got on blue shoes with a bows. Those are everything that I can see. But then we have our inside traits, which are our personality traits. And we have to read the text and look at the pictures to really identify those. Those can be your thoughts. So what's the character thinking about? And something big is happening in a story. The words, what exactly is the character saying? That's that point of view that we'll talk about here in a couple of minutes. And then we have the feelings. How does the character feel about something big that happens? The big bad wolf is coming to attack one of the pigs. How does that pig feel? Are they scared? Are they frightened? Or do they feel brave? Those things are so very important. And then finally, we have the actions. What does the character do? Think about the 3 little pigs in particular. The first 2 pigs, they ran away to the brick pig's house. But that brick pig, he stood up for him and for his brothers, and he stopped the big bad wolf. He was really, really brave. All of these personality traits we learn when we look at when we learn based on what the character says, does, thinks, and feels in a story. And how a character thinks, feels, acts in a story is known as the character response. What a character does because of an event that happens in a story, that is the character response. A challenge or the problem is something that causes a problem for the characters. So, for example, this little girl right here, she is in the hot sun, and obviously she's hot because she has a fan. The problem is it is so hot that no one wants to go outside. Well, how does she respond to that challenge? The response is the action that the character does because of it. Well, our friend Julie, she decides to jump in a cool pool. She's hot. There's nothing better on a hot summer day than getting in a nice cool pool to cool off. That is how she responded to her challenge. So let's go ahead and practice by reading a story called Piñata Problems. Have you ever broken a piñata before? Where do you normally see piñatas? If you say at a birthday party or different celebrations, you are correct. One of my favorite traditions to end the school year is on the very last day of school, we break open a piñata in Miss Oates' class because guess what? It is the end of the school year. It is summertime. It is time to celebrate and have a big old party. And sometimes some of my students have a problem similar to Carlos. So let's go ahead and read this story, Piñata Problems. Follow along as I read, please. Carlos watched all 6 of his cousins take a whack at the birthday piñata. All 6 of them swung with the speed and strength. Carlos had never tried hitting a piñata before, and he was feeling very anxious about it. He thought that if he missed the piñata, all of his cousins would laugh at him. It was Carlos's turn, and he almost didn't take it, but at the last minute, he took the bat and walked up to the piñata. On the first swing, Carlos completely missed the piñata. He nervously waited for his cousins to laugh at him, but they just cheered him on. And on the second swing, he cracked open the piñata. Awesome job, Carlos. So let's go ahead and use our key details to help us answer some of these questions. Who is the character in the story? And our character is Carlos. And again, the very first word in this sentence, in the story, is Carlos. Carlos watched. By identifying Carlos, I know that's our character. Now, we could say Carlos' cousins are also characters, but whose point of view is the story coming through? It's going to be Carlos. This story is telling us how Carlos feels about what's going on. All right, what's the setting of the story? Where does the story take place? And it's at a birthday party. And I know this because Carlos and his 6 cousins are trying to whack a birthday piñata. And I know from my experiences going to a birthday party, that's where I kind of see piñatas. It's more at birthday parties than other types of celebrations. Okay, so what is the character's problem? What is his challenge that he has to face? Well, Carlos was nervous that if he missed hitting the piñata, his cousins would laugh at him. And again, I can identify that through these key details in this story. He was feeling very anxious about it. That means he's very, very nervous. He thought that if he had missed the piñata, all of his cousins would laugh at him. But of course, what was his response? How did he solve this challenge? Carlos did what? Carlos was brave and decided to try and hit the piñata. I know that he was brave because at first he didn't want to do it, but then he walked up and he did it. And on the first swing, he missed, but his cousins, they didn't laugh at him. They cheered him on. And then the second time, he had more confidence and he swung hard and he whacked that piñata open, causing all of the special treats to fly down. And again, the point of view of our story that we're reading about is Carlos. So Carlos is the one that faced the problem, and he's the one that faced the challenge, and he responded well, and he beat the piñata open and got to enjoy all of the candy. And his cousins, they were so sweet, they just cheered him on. All right, boys and girls, that is it for our reading lesson today. I sure hope you learned a little bit about characters and how they respond to challenges. How do you respond to a challenge that you may face? Are you brave? Do you face it head on? Or are you kind of scared and a little nervous that something may not go right? I don't know. I kind of get nervous sometimes, but sometimes you just got to step up to the plate and be brave. But I will see you next time, boys and girls. Happy reading. Bye.